Hey everyone, it's Mark Ferguson. We're doing another virtual real estate video. Upland, where we do most of our virtual real estate, just announced the collections for North Berkeley, and they're pretty disappointing, I think, for most people. From very strange selections here, at least based on what I've been told and what I've been reading on Discord. I am not an expert on Berkeley at all in real life. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And of course, we love the likes, subscribers, comments, all that. Keep those coming. And if you want more information on Upland and what we do and how all that works, make sure you check out our other videos. We go into more detail on what it is, how to buy, how to sell, how to make money with Upland. So right now we're looking at Berkeley and the collections. Here, we'll hop over to Discord real quick, I think, on the announcements here. And this is very stressful for me because I had my computer going and I was going to try and jump on some properties when they announced them, and my internet went down in my office, and we're scrambling, and it came back on like right before the collections were announced, and I was just a big mess and didn't really do anything, but that's okay. I don't know if I would have gotten much anyway because everybody was kind of surprised. They're releasing the collection for Berkeley tomorrow. So for those of you who don't know, Upland has a number of cities they slowly release over time, and it's really fun buying new properties, kind of guessing where collections will be when they release these cities. And so they release a city, you can buy properties, mint properties for a week, and then after a week, they announce the collection so you can see if your properties are in those collections or not. So I want to do this video and show you what prices are like before the collection, and then after tomorrow, we'll see what prices are like after the collection and see how much they change. So here I am showing Berkeley right here. And before we start, of course, we love the likes, the comments, welcome new subscribers, and I have a real estate channel as well, Invest for More, that goes over actual flipping rental properties in our real estate brokerage in real life. But here we have Berkeley, and you can see I own a number of properties in the area. But the real question is, what are prices now and what will they be after the collection is announced? So I did the Bronx opening, and there's a big difference in different neighborhoods before and after the collections were announced. Some neighborhoods were more expensive and became less expensive. Some were, moderately expensive, stayed the same, and some became more expensive when the collections were announced and when the streets were announced. So we'll kind of look here and see what the base price is for properties right now. So you can see people have started to list properties for dollars, which I think you can do about a week, maybe a little short of a week after you buy them. So there is some of that, and you can see the cheapest UPX property, and make sure that's in Berkeley and not the old Oakland, is about $17,000. So the floor, well, there's only one. Here's some for $18,000. So really, $17,000 to $18,000 seems to be the very cheapest properties right now in Berkeley. And then we can go to each neighborhood and get an idea. Now we can't do this exact because I can't really zoom in and have the full neighborhood, but we can do this and see in this neighborhood, $21,000, $22,000, up to $24,000 seems to be the floor, and that's Elmwood. Now we can go over here to LeConte. Again, I don't know these cities amazingly well or how to pronounce the names, but hopefully I'm not butchering them too bad. $18,000, $19,000. That seems to be the floor right there. And the floor can fluctuate too some. Even on different days, you'll see the floor in some of these neighborhoods range from, a few $1,000s. And once in a while, you'll just see super cheap properties listed as well. Like that one's pretty cheap. $16,000, I think. Was that the cheapest one in the whole city? You know what? Let's just buy this. Why not? It's really cheap. I don't think I own anything in that neighborhood. We're just going to buy it. So we did. All right. But you can see now the floor is $18,000, $19,000 in that range for South Berkeley. And then West Berkeley's a little tricky. There's a street on here, 4th Street, that may become a collection. But outside of that, $25,000, $26,000, that's kind of the floor. And we might be missing, certain areas might be a little more or less depending on where you're at. We'll check this part here. Oh, there's some cheaper ones, $19,000, $21,000, $22,000 up north. Make sure, yep, there. Right there in the middle of that section. And then we're going to look at Ocean View. Ocean View is a very small, exclusive little neighborhood. Again, I can't quite get the whole thing. Whew, $895. Now, I know there's some cheaper properties in here and stuff. And really, if we're going to do this right, we probably should have checked prices. Oh, there's one, 519. There's one I own right there, 1.2. If I was going to do this perfectly, I probably should have done it yesterday, because I know people are starting to take their properties off the market now, because you don't want them on the market when the collections are announced, unless you have a property in a collection and you don't want to, sell it for too cheap while people are out there looking for good deals. All right, North Berkeley, we own some properties in here. 21,000, 22,000. So that price range up to West Bray. I bought some properties in here just because they were cheap, and I figure even if it's not in a collection, it'll still be a good deal. 20,000, 21,000. We'll go over to North Bray. Again, like I said, I'm not getting all of these. 21,000, 26,000. I think I bought some in here too. And they were down here. It's a little cheaper down here. 21,000, 21,000, yeah, 22,000. So again, all of these floors seem to be pretty similar for most of these neighborhoods. Up north, nothing too fancy. 24,000, nothing too high. The real Ocean View neighborhood is the really expensive one. And some of the downtown stuff we'll show here soon too. Berkeley Hills, we own quite a few properties in here. We did. We sold a bunch. There you can see some of the cheap one, $14.05. But you're paying U.S. dollars, so those are usually lower. But the UPX baseline, about 20,000 in that range. And I've seen that pretty similar throughout this whole last week. Properties in Berkeley Hills have been around that 20,000 range. And Thousand Oaks has been a little bit more expensive. So I've sold a bunch of properties in here too. And yeah, over 30,000. They've been from 27 to 33,000 this whole week. And that doesn't surprise me. They're up over 30,000. A lot of people are saying that might be a collection, and we'll see. Now we'll go down here. Again, this could be always a little tricky, making sure you catch this. North side, 30,000, 30,000. I bought a couple properties in here just because I thought, hey, just in case it's a collection, it's smaller. I didn't pay a whole lot of money. And do a little bit of speculation. But if it's not a collection, probably would lose a little bit of money on those. Again, this is University of California, Berkeley. These are way more expensive. So up over almost 200,000 for most of these. A very small area where you can mint. And so I'm not surprised at that at all. Panoramic Hill, I think, was Oakland. As not Berkeley. That was already there. And then the south side neighborhood here. It was very expensive last I checked too. Oh, 99, 100,000. Yeah, that's what I saw before. Maybe even higher. I think I might have seen since at 80 before. But that's going up. And then downtown Berkeley. Again, it's tricky to get all of these. I'm not reaching very many. 200,000. We'll scoot up here. 225. 225. And that's kind of what I've seen too, is high 100s. There's a 145. Is that even in the... Oh, yeah. That's in downtown. So that's one of the cheapest ones I've seen in downtown. Make sure... Yeah, it's in there. So there you go. There's a... If you want to do some speculation... Oh, there's a 150, too. There's a couple of them same... Oh, no, different owners. Okay. But if you want to do some speculation in downtown and hope it's an ultra-rare collection, there's a couple of cheaper properties for you. Oops. Let me zoom back out. And we haven't done Central Berkeley. I bought a couple there, as you can see. And 28,000, 30,000. So a little higher than some of the northern neighborhoods, but still not super high. 25,000. That one's pretty cheap. What did I pay for mine? 29,000. Okay. And then Poets Corner, which I have a couple properties in here as well. I think that's where I'm at, right? Yep. Is a little more expensive from what I've seen. Oh, 38,000. Okay, that's I guess there were some around 40 before, but I've also seen some more in this area. So, see if we go south here. If any of these are 38,000, 39,000. Okay. So again, this could be one where people think it's a collection. If it doesn't end up being a collection, right, those prices could drop pretty quickly. Although they do have high mint prices, so maybe not. But I believe we got all the neighborhoods here. The Berkeley Marina, there's like Oh, I don't know if we did South. Yeah, I think we did South Berkeley. There's like no properties in here. I think these are all. Yeah, there's like one over here. So, $2 million. Hard to know what's going on over there. But yeah, that's the neighborhoods for right now. We'll see what happens tomorrow. So here are the new neighborhoods. West End and Alameda. I didn't do anything in Alameda. University of California, Berkeley, which makes sense. I know that's kind of a very popular area. And South Berkeley, which was like the cheapest place you could buy properties. I bought one property there yesterday, I think, just for fun because it was so cheap. And now they've jumped up in price. And then for streets, Gibbons Street in Alameda and Solano in Berkeley, which I don't think anybody was considering. So a lot of stuff going on here. And we'll kind of show you. Solano Street is up here, right by Thousand Oaks, where I bought like 25 properties. But I don't think I ever minted any on Solano Street. Boy, we're really close. I have one there. I'd have to look back. I looked back through most of my messages, but they weren't all coming through. And maybe I had some on Solano, but I don't remember anybody mentioning anything about that street. But I still made a lot of money minting and selling, so I'm not disappointed in the collections and overall picture, but it does seem strange on some of the stuff they picked. And so a lot of people were thinking downtown Berkeley would be super expensive. A lot of people were thinking Southside would be super expensive, Ocean View, and now they're probably going to just drop in price like crazy. Poets Corner, 4th Street, University wasn't mentioned. And then the weird one for me is Telegraph, because I bought all these properties on Telegraph. Assuming that would be a collection because it was a collection in Oakland, and Alameda and Berkeley are an extension of Oakland. They aren't new cities. They're part of Oakland. And if we come here and look at these collections, it shows you all of Oakland's, right? They're not separated. And there's a West End for Alameda, and then South Berkeley right here, where prices have skyrocketed. We'll talk about that because I went through yesterday and showed all these prices beforehand too, so we can compare them. And then Telegraph Avenue is still here, right? It's still a collection, but it is not counting my properties in Berkeley as part of that collection, which seems kind of weird to me because it's in Oakland. It's part of the Oakland City. It's just an extension, and it lists it right here as a collection, but they must have stopped it at that road. So there we go. Here's the Gibbons one in Alameda, a rare collection. Solano's an ultra rare collection. Would have been nice to have some there. And that's it. So not many collections, probably because it's an add-on to a city. But oh well. All right, so what I did yesterday is I went through and looked at prices in each of these neighborhoods to kind of see the floor real quick. And we'll do that here, and we'll compare them. Maybe I'll splice them in and out. We'll see. 20,000, not too surprising. LeConte, 30,000, a little higher. But the one real interesting one, I don't know if we need to go through all these, is South Berkeley, which I think was in the $16,000, $17,000 range. Now, 52 is kind of the floor. And this is the one we bought right here. And like I said, I was going through yesterday, and it just popped up as like 16,000 is so cheap, so I just bought it. So that's the one we got there. And I assume, at least this is what happened in Bronx, this isn't like an ultra rare, what was it? Just we'll look at this collection real fast. South Berkeley, limited collection. So it's okay, but it's not like an ultra rare or exclusive one. I'm guessing these prices are going to drop, right? You get kind of the fear of missing out as soon as they're announced, and everybody swarms to jump onto it. I'm not going to buy a bunch right now. And I was thinking about even just selling mine right now and maybe going back and buying stuff later when it's cheaper maybe. But we might do that. But then, 4th Street was really expensive because a lot of people thought that would be a collection. I had one on 4th Street I minted, and I sold it for 100 and some thousand. And I bought one after that for 100 and some thousand just because I was thinking 4th Street might work. So I didn't really lose any money doing it. But I could have just sold my property and made a bunch and been on my way. And then Ocean, let's see, it's always hard, it's so small. Let's see if there's really cheap properties here now. 100,000, they're like 500,000 before the collection. So again, maybe that shows us that, hey, we should have sold this property taken our win and not bet on a collection coming through. Poets Corner as well. We had a couple properties there. A lot of people thought that would be a collection. Now it's down to 22,000. I think it was around 40, maybe just below 40 yesterday. Central Berkeley, it wasn't too expensive yesterday, but I'm sure 21,000. All these will drop because they're not collections. I'm really curious to see what downtown Berkeley is because it was really, really expensive yesterday. And it's dropped some, but it's still pretty pricey, although we're not hitting every single area of downtown. 96,000. Again, this is why it's risky to speculate with high dollar properties and hope they become a collection, because if they don't, you can lose quite a bit of money. Now, minting stuff, why are those so expensive right there? Southside wasn't a collection. 75. So they're still kind of pricey in Southside, and I didn't buy any properties there because of that. Kind of glad I didn't. And then Northside, these are a little bit pricier, but not too bad. They're around 30,000. What I pay? 30,000. So, let's see. We'll just kind of look at all of these at once right here up here. Because I bought some in here too just because they're cheaper, assuming, hey, maybe I'll get lucky. And we did get lucky in the South Berkeley, but not up here. It's a really cheap one. So, like I said, I won't go through all of these. Thousands Oaks was also thought to be possibly a collection. So this price floor was around 30,000. Now look at that, they dropped down to 19. So I'm glad that I was able to sell 20 of some of those properties in the $30,000 range. I was able to sell 20 some properties in this neighborhood too in the 20,000 range. No, yeah, in that range. So made a whole lot of money minting and selling kind of bulk. And we did mint some properties on Telegraph and sell them. Bought some more on Telegraph, really hoping it'd be a collection. So I probably broke even on Telegraph. And if I would have just sold the ones I minted right away for the 100 and some thousand, I would have been way ahead there. So that was kind of what my gut was telling me. But then your emotions want you to hit it big, right? With kind of the gambling aspect of it. So, and that happened in the Bronx too, where if I would have just kind of probably sold my 4th Street one, my Ocean View one, even the Poets Corner one, if I just would have sold all of them that were speculated as being a collection, I'd probably be way ahead of where I am now. But then that's not as much fun either going up to the collection. Now when it's announced, it's annoying and you're disappointed, but that's part of the game. So it's still kind of fun. It's not like huge amounts of money we're gambling or messing with here, but it is interesting to see how this all worked out. All right, so we'll kind of put this together with the video I did before it to show you what prices were. We'll look at the Berkeley neighborhood here real quick too, because I know I did that one. It's hard to get because it's so small. And see what prices are. They're very high before, and now 227. I don't even feel like that's that much higher than before it was announced as a collection, which is another issue too. Like you're paying 200,000. Well, if it's still worth 200,000 after it's announced as a collection, where's the upside there? And if it's not announced as a collection, you have massive downside. So the collections are tricky. I think that it's a lot of times it makes sense to sell your properties before they're announced in anticipation of them being a collection than to risk them becoming one and you losing out. All right, that's our video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we can all learn something from this and provide new and better strategies going forward with new openings. I am really interested to see what happens if Telegraph, if it stays like this. But man, it just seems like it should be a collection if it's part of Oakland. Berkeley's part of Oakland. It listed as a collection here. Maybe we'll ask the Discord channel or see if anybody's mentioning anything on there. All right. Love the support. Love the likes. Love the comments. We have a real estate channel as well. Invest for More if you want to see what we're doing there. And we'll be back with more videos coming up here soon.